This is an uncensored podcast about sex, sexuality, gender, and body stuff. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to protect the anonymity of its participants. Hello friends, it is I, Drew Michael, and this is Make Sex With Me, a podcast where we have friends of the pod, and we sometimes talk to them. Sometimes it's a while in between, but we're sorry, I keep looking at my dog behind me. She's literally ruining everything. Hi Priscilla.
Hi, Drew. What an intro. I feel so honored to be back on the show with such a glowing review of me. And your boobs look fabulous tonight.
My breasts, I have to keep lifting them up.
Oh my God, they're so supple. I wish I could tap them.
I know.
Not that I ever tapped them in person when we were together in South Carolina.
You never did, and it was always welcome. I already consent to everything for everyone, mostly.
I don't think we were a very tactile friendship.
No, we weren't pterodactyls. We didn't do that. We were terrified of tactilism.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a very tactile person to begin with, so I just assume that most people don't like being touched.
Well, I don't mind being touched, but I don't like to be touched by people I don't like, and that's about it.
Wait, does anybody like being touched by who they don't like? I feel like that's a small
But some people don't like being touched by anybody or whatever. Some people just want to know a person. I'm pretty much I'm okay with strangers touching me until if they open their mouth and say one thing I don't like, then I don't like it anymore. But even if they're hot and mysterious, well, it helps if they're hot.
Yeah.
Sometimes women touching me, the kinds of women that are just giving off I'm a woman vibes. It's almost like female creepers, and they just every man is their man. They're so woman that I don't know if I'm explaining this well. They just I feel like they want to have sex with me, and I'm just I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel is it mostly women who touch you without consent?
Oh my God, I just choked on my own materials.
Gross.
I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with a lot of women. A lot of women will come up behind me and they'll be like, "Oh, I just want to smack it," and I'm just okay, you might as well do it. I mean, if you're gonna talk about it, because I bend over just at odd times. It's mostly because my body is so tired of being alive that I just have to lean on the counter or lean up against a wall or just I like to be supine whenever I can.
Yeah, you do have a very luscious booty, so
yeah.
It's just primed for grabbing, I suppose.
It's what is that called? It's Botticellian. It's just it's a little dimpled. It's a little too dimpled for a penis haver, maybe, but we're working on it. It's just I love cheese.
Yes, that is fine. Yeah.
I have a cheese booty. It looks like it was made out of, maybe not Swiss, but it looks like it was made out of Jarlsberg.
Okay, so I can squeeze if I want to thereafter.
Yeah, and I feel like you might have just pinched. You might have pinched once or twice in our friendship. Like if we were drunk
Your
out at a club.
your booty? No.
You might have pinched.
Well, okay. Well, it's anything that happens when I'm drunk is definitely a possibility.
Anything we don't remember the next day is totally fine. And we almost had that three-way in Charlotte, so it's totally fine.
Wait. Replay the whole story for the listener, please.
Well, I think probably, like, we talked about it when it happened, but I don't think people are going to go back and listen to that episode. But
Definitely not.
and I don't know that I remember the story, but I think it was, like, a guy who was, like, it was, like, on the sidelines of the dance floor the whole night at that one club, and then he kind of, like, was staring at me, and I don't know, maybe staring at you, and then he was, like, at one point, like, he was dancing up on me, and then he was he dancing up on you separately? I don't know if it was together or separate, but we were dancing.
I think he was really into you.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. But at one point it was like he was into us, and like I was like, I just want to dance with my friend, and he was like, I want to dance with your friend too, and then it was like, hey, and then it just it really felt like I don't know if he was in the middle, I don't know what happened, I can't actually remember, but
I remember what happened. He tried to kiss you, and you didn't like his breath, and so that was that.
Oh, that's right, he smelled kind of bad. Yeah. Sorry, Maya just texted me. I texted her earlier to make sure she wasn't dead. You have to do that. I'm like a gay parent or something.
Is she alive? Well, obviously.
She is, but so Maya, my niece, is fostering a dog. Side note, fostering a dog, but like not even legitimately fostering a dog, because like someone who knew Maya's roommate was just gonna like take this dog to the pound. And her roommate was like, no, like, well, I'll just take the dog so you don't take it to, like, a kill shelter, essentially. And then they've just been trying to, like, find a home for this dog. But it's like, not a dog that needs to be alone a lot. It's still kind of like a puppy, but it's also, like, it has a lot of energy. And it probably gets nervous. So apparently it's been throwing up and, like, pooping and just everything that could go wrong.
Oh no, that's really annoying. You want to be nice to dogs, but sometimes they just like suck.
I know, but I told him, I was like, it's never the dog's fault. They're
Right.
just trying to tell you stuff, and they can't talk, and you need to get rid of the dog.
Yeah.
You need to take it to a nice little place where they can take care of the dog.
It's not its fault. It was probably a wild dog or raised by wild people.
Oh,
Okay,
she's
sorry,
so
we
sweet,
digress.
though. I know, we were just like, I couldn't stop with the dog. So yeah, we didn't have a three-way, but he must have like said something that made us believe that it was gonna head that way. I don't know if he said like, your friend's really hot, or like, I don't know what he did. But the bad breath put the kibosh. I mean, I wouldn't have gone through with it regardless of the breath, but like, it definitely sealed the deal that we weren't gonna have a three-way because of the breath. I'm sure our breath wasn't great, but I mean,
Shut up, bitch! No way. My breath is always no. It was like lollipops the whole night.
Oh yeah, you had. I just found a lollipop, on my person the other day, and I wondered if it was left over from our trip to Charlotte, because there were so many lollipops. I felt like you bought 2 at the store, and then there was lollipop all night.
It was like a lollipop Satan. I was just like handing it out to children.
Yeah. I think you are actually that. That should be your new podcasting title, Lollipop Satan. Priscilla Toyota.
It's been so long since I've been on your pod. I'm so proud of you for all your interesting guests and topics. I've been a big fan. Listen all the time, and yeah, I'm just so I even like looked at all the reviews on Apple Podcasts. There's at least like one, and like yeah,
there is. I think I need a few more. I need 5 stars from everyone. Oh yeah, if anybody wants to rate, review, subscribe, and leave us 5 stars, and email us at makesexwithmepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, you can do that. Please do that, except if you have an Android and don't listen to Apple Podcasts, because you're a terrible person like me.
I mean, you could. What do you use? Spotify for podcasts?
No, I use YouTube Music.
YouTube Music?
Okay, so because I'm a terrible person who has an Android, I was using Google's podcast player, which was
Yeah.
fine. It was great. And then they shuttered it and then transferred everything to YouTube Music, which is horrible. I hate it. But I can listen to some podcasts on it, not every podcast. Yours is on YouTube,
Yes.
which is
So,
why I can listen to it.
oh, so you're listening to my podcast on YouTube? That's actually really helpful because I think you're the only one.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Yay! I know. And I'm like, I keep getting like, I get emails all the time from like different companies that want to help me like make the podcasts like better using different like AI tools and shit. But I feel like I got one the other day that had to do with like making videos for your podcast, and I was like, okay, I am interested in that, but I feel like I'm gonna have to start like dressing nicer, wearing makeup, and then like doing,
Yeah.
finding a way to make the guests comfortable. I've seen other people do it where they can blank out the guest's face or whatever if they want to be anonymous.
I would love if you would AI my face into something really hot. Or
I don't know what the chances of that are affordably, but I know that's possible. It's out there. Hollywood's
yeah,
using it.
yeah, like AI me into like Ursula or something like that. That'd be so cool.
I think you're hotter than Ursula. I don't think we
Oh,
need to go
thank
in
you.
the opposite direction.
Ursula is
Um,
pretty sexy.
do you remember that movie? It was like Welcome to Chechnya. It was about like the gay people in the Russian state of Chechnya that like were being like arrested and like tortured by the police because they were gay. And
I don't
then
know this movie. Sounds really good.
so good. The best thing about the movie, and it's like really fucked up, obviously, and a lot of those people had to like seek asylum in other countries, but um, they actually, every single person in the movie that's like a gay person has their face altered by AI or I don't know, CGI or whatever they were calling it at the time. So you see these people and you think like they all look a certain way, and then the people that decided to go public with their their problems, they like being like, this is what's happening to gay people in Russia, all of a sudden as they went public their faces just like melt into their real face, but like you don't know, you think that these people actually look how you've seen them the whole movie, but they've been manipulated. It's so cool.
I'm really creeped out by this melting face thing.
Well, it doesn't like melt, but like that's like a really poignant scene where like they're like, just kidding, this is my face. It's really cool.
Ooh,
You need to watch
okay.
it.
I'll check
Plus,
it out.
I'm sure it's still happening. I'm sure people who are gay are still being like, tortured and beat up by cops and arrested for being gay in Russia. And it's like really bad.
Fuck Russia.
I know.
Fuck.
Fuck Russia.
And
What a
fuck.
politic Russia is.
Yeah, that's
Um,
like a perennial politic.
It's
Vladimir
perennially politiculous.
Putin.
So let's talk about our lighter subject for the episode, and then we could talk
Yeah.
about some more politics in a little bit.
Yeah.
So this has come to my attention, and then you showed me, it was like a New York Times article about this, and then I heard the Bitch Bible podcast talking about it. Was it yesterday? And I was like, fuck, I gotta do this. I was gonna do this. I gotta do this before everyone else talks about it first. And it is the fact that we are entering, just last week actually, into a new summer, and the summer's theme is Hot Rodent Summer.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Dun, da, da, da. Squeak, squeak.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about what rodent men are? What's a rodent man?
Okay, I'll try. Okay, yeah. According to this article from the paper on Record, rodent men are very attractive men. Like, they're sexy, but they also have a very like pinched, angular features. They're probably not as like masculine as like say your Brad Pitt or Liam Hemsworth types, but like the quintessential rodent men are the two male stars of the movie Challengers,
Mm-hmm.
Josh O'Connor and Mike Faced. And I don't know if that's how you say Mike Faced, but that's how it just looks like.
I think it's faced.
Oh, good.
I want it to be.
Okay. Uh, and so that kind of triggered a article by Serena Smith, I think, writing for this blog called Dazed about like how all these people on the internet are going like, wow, these guys, which also include like, Timothy Chalamet, Barry Keoghan, that Irish guy.
Ugh, yes.
Yeah, that guy from The Bear.
Jeremy Allen White.
And like Adam Driver. I don't know. They all just have like these like really rodent like faces, and it's all about a summer about celebrating these unconventionally attractive faces.
Well, it's funny because I didn't understand until this was coming out that I have a type, and it is hot rodent men. I love rodents. I don't know why. I don't know if I look like a rodent. I think everyone kind of looks like a rodent if you think about it.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing, and I'm seeing a lot of these pictures, with the exception of Jeremy Allen White, all of the guys that I'm looking at have big ears, and they kind of stick out.
Yeah.
Most of them have pretty, like, dominant, kind of dramatic noses.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of them have eyes that are kind of close together.
Beady eyes.
Beady eyes. Was it Mike Faced?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Faced. I feel like he should have probably changed his name when he got famous.
Yeah, agree.
Mike Faced. Mike Faced!
Make Feist.
Mike Feist. He has eyes that are kind of far apart, which is interesting, but his nose is still kind of pointy, and his little ears are pretty huge.
Yeah, he was compared to Stuart Little.
Oh, Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Is that a
sexy.
real person?
No, Stuart Little is
The mouse.
a CGI mouse. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, but then I thought that there was also like a new celebrity that I didn't quite know much about also named that.
But say more about your type. Like, why is it that you find
I don't
rat-faced
know.
men sexy?
So I actually think that and you can't tell this because I'm not skinny right now, but I think when I'm actually skinny, I'm more of like a horse face. It's like kind of like a Chelsea Handler face.
Huh.
And I don't know why. I just think like horse face likes mouse face. Like I think when I watched Ratatouille, I'm not going to say I like wanted to have sex with Ratatouille, the rat, but the guy who Ratatouille controlled was giving me like sexy rodent as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I want to fuck him.
Yeah, totally.
I like big noses. I like skinny, tall, lanky, I don't need a big ear, but I wouldn't say no to a big ear.
Yeah.
And beady eyes, I actually like big eyes. Like, I don't know if they need to be beady, but what I like about this hot rodent summer idea is that, like, there's all different kinds of guys, like, from all around the globe that fall into this. Like, who is the K-pop star that you were like, oh my god?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that is something that I do want to say about that. But I also want to comment on, like, your type, too.
Oh, please. Start there. Oh, my God.
Well, I guess it's okay. Your type. Do you feel like because you are attracted to, like, a conventionally unattractive, or I don't know, like, how do I describe, like, these rodent
I think, yes.
Yeah. Is it like kind of like I don't want to be next to like an Adonis. Like that would make me feel like really, really unattractive myself. Like that would make me feel insecure.
It's possibly that. It could be out of insecurity. I've always been attracted to people that have some flaws, and it might be because it makes me feel safe. I don't know, because I certainly have flaws of my own, and I'm sure that everyone could sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, I've got flaws," whatever. Everyone's their own worst critic, but I don't know. I like when someone's just a little different looking. I've always have. And that's also true with, like, I've always been interested in people of other races. Like, I'm just like, ooh, this is different. I like it. Like, I just always wanted different. I always wanted um, something that I did. I always want to learn about stuff I don't know about. I'm like, just so fascinated and so curious, like a little mouse lover. I'm a cat.
Yeah, for some, I don't, it probably is not true, but like for some reason, it feels like these rodent men would have more interesting things to say. Like, I don't know, they're like one cigarette away from dying, or like they're just like reading philosophy all the time, or something like that.
Well, yeah, some of them look unhealthy. I love that.
Yeah.
Some of them just, yeah, they look like all they do is smoke cigarettes and drink coffee, like in a corner of like a cafe, and like
Yeah.
they're just like what would they be reading? It'd probably be like a book of Is that what you said, book of poetry?
Book of philosophy.
Oh, philosophy. It could also
yeah.
be poems.
But also poetry, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, well, I mean, that's the Jeremy Allen White vibe. By the way, my friend, who's like now like a judge in Queens, New York, she had, let me try to figure this out. She has a daughter who's married to a man. It's like 6 degrees of separation. So my friend has a daughter who's married to a man whose sister is Jeremy Allen White's sister.
I'm so tired.
I know. I am like 6 degrees away from Jeremy Allen White. I know that because my friend went with her daughter, and her daughter's husband and sister and parents, they all had dinner, and Jeremy Allen White was at dinner with them. And my friend was like, "Do you know this guy from the show Shameless?" And I was like, "Which one?" Because I like loved that show, the American version, and I found it was Jeremy Allen White. I was like, "Oh my god!"
So it's actually a possibility that if you were to have a meal with your friend, that Jeremy Allen White would be also invited.
Yeah, he might knock on the door and come on my face.
Okay, yeah, that's a possibility then. That's a good story. Now it's more relevant.
Because of the last part I said.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm looking at this. Adam Driver, they're saying he is a mouse man. He's a rodent.
I see that.
Rami Malek, I can't actually. That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But he has big eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where the other thing. No. There's another thing I wanted to say before I talked about like the races of these.
Oh, sorry. Is Adam Driver another race?
No. Well, what I wanted to say is that like, do we find these rodent men attractive because they're always with very attractive women? Like for instance, like the Challengers actors, there was Zendaya in that like hot tennis movie. Have you seen it?
I still haven't seen Challengers. I hate my life. I might have to go see it right now.
It's such a cock tease. You would hate it because like there's just not enough homoeroticism.
Yeah.
Like the two male actors, they should be making out like the entire movie, and they do zero of that. It's really unfortunate. But yeah, they almost have a threesome with Zendaya, and I wonder how much of that like elevates their hotness. Same with that Irish guy Barry Keoghan. He's with Sabrina Carpenter, and she's just like a little minxy hottie.
Yeah.
And so like, do we find them more attractive because they're always with conventionally attractive women?
I think a lot of people do. I definitely think that adds to the hype. I think that a lot of people, like, they laugh at movies when other people are laughing. They're like, "Oh my god, you're laughing, I'm laughing, we're laughing." I think people are very like easily impressioned. But I think that that's not why I like them, because I don't even know who Sabrina Carpenter is. I'm actually upset that he's dating that bitch because I want to date Barry Kogan. I I mean Saltburn. Okay, so you're right. Fuck these cock tease movies. Like Saltburn was the same thing.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
The Talented Mr. Ripley. Um, I really love. Okay, so what's his name? What's his name that was in The Challengers with Mike Feist? He's British and he's just now like blowing up. He was also in The Crown. He played Prince
Oh.
Charles when he was a prince.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and his name is
I don't know
fucking
his name.
Josh O'Connor.
Mm.
He actually did a movie a long time ago called I think it's called God's Own Country. And it was about like this British guy who like lived on a farm with his parents and like he like was like kind of like, ugh, I hate my life. I'm just gonna drink every night and like help my parents like farm sheep or whatever. And then
Mhm.
they have this like migrant worker guy come from like Romania or something to help with the sheep, and they hate each other, but then they like fall in love, and then they're like fucking in sheep dung, and like it's really good. It's a beautiful movie,
That
but
sounds so good.
I've
You
been
should definitely do movie recaps, by the way. You're so good at them.
okay. That's my next thing.
Okay.
But Josh O'Connor is like he's in that. He's so cute, and he's probably like 28 or something in that movie, and he's
Uh-huh.
you see him naked, and he's got a really nice wiener.
Oh,
So of
great.
course I'm obsessed with him. I think
Yeah.
mice men probably have little bodies and big wieners, to be honest.
Huh.
They're not necessarily mice men, they're rodent men. So they could be rat, they could be gerbil. Gerbils have huge genitals. They could be chinchilla, they could be squirrel. There's like all these different options that they could be, which is where I think if anyone's a squirrel, I think it's Barry Kogan. I think he's probably not a mouse.
Yeah, yeah. He has more of like a protruding face.
Yeah, he's got a different looking face, and I think he looks really good in movies. I think he looks really terrible on the red carpet most of the time. Like
Yeah,
I've
why
seen,
is that?
I don't know. I think maybe he's showing up to these red carpets like not being like airbrushed, not wearing any makeup. He's like, "Fuck that. I don't give a shit." And it's like, "Ooh, you should have given a little bit of a shit."
Well, this the other thing about rodent men is that like they seem like more intellectual. It's like we want them to like talk, and if they're just taking a photo on like the Met Gala, they're just like, ugh, you're just like wearing some costume. But if they're, you know, fucking a grave and being really funny and awesome in a movie, that makes them more sexy, in my opinion.
I want to know like what any I'm sure all of these guys know they've made this list. Like I wonder what they think about it. Like are they like, "Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. Like I don't look like a fucking mouse," or are they just like owning it? Like I don't even know. Like do guys even give a shit like what their face looks like? I mean these are celebrities too, so you don't know.
I bet they like it.
They're probably like, "That's right, and I fuck like a rabbit."
Yeah, yeah. I think
I
they like it.
I can't believe Willem Dafoe is on this list. He just looks odd. He doesn't look. I think he's like a bird man. I don't think or like he's like he's like in this picture I'm showing
Oh my
you.
gosh.
He looks like the crows have eyes or whatever from you know. I love.
Yeah, I love him, but yeah, I just
Also,
don't.
have you ever seen Frances McDormand and him in the same room? Like they might be the same person.
Oh my god, that's such a terrifying photo that you just showed me.
Yeah. Okay, I want to know why. And are we ready to move on to race? Because, like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, okay.
I want to know why Simu Liu is on the list.
Okay, that is not good. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to say about that list and also about like every other article written about rodent men, it's like the same standard issue rodent men in every single fucking article. There have been no Asians, Black, Latino, multicolored or like female rodents either, and it's actually really disappointing, and it made me sad that people weren't more creative, but also it made me go like, oh, is it because we idolize in Hollywood like white people so much, or just there aren't that many examples of like non-white rodents because they're just like not a lot of non-white famous people in America.
It could be that. It could be like also being like, well, we can't talk negatively about people of color right now in any way, shape, or form without being canceled.
But
So,
it's not negative. I think it's very sexy to be rodent. That's what we established.
yeah, we think that, but I think a lot of people don't. I think that they're like the reason why it's being written about is because they're like, I can't believe anybody does like this. Like, it seems like they're blowing up right now, and obviously it's like not gonna last. Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't know. You can't really liken different races to animals unless you want to get a little bit in trouble.
But the gays have been doing it forever. Like bears
Oh
and
yeah,
what else is a gay animal?
otter.
Otters. Are twinks are not
fuck. I'm
animals.
a fuck chicken. I'm like a chicken. My body looks like a and not even a real chicken, but like the ones the rubber ones.
Wait, is that an actual gay term for types of gays?
It's the only thing I can liken my body to that makes sense. Or like if a freshly plucked chicken, like when it's still got the bumps from where they pulled the feathers out, that's my body. That's who I am.
What an image, but I also disagree with that.
Okay.
But yeah, the gays have been like comparing people to animals forever.
Yeah, but gays are like terrible people. Not like because they're gay, but like because they're so superficial in so many ways. Like they like like you know how people will say like you'll like dress up as Britney Spears and they'll be like, oh, you're like the Asian Britney Spears, and you're like, no, I'm just Britney Spears. Like they'll be like, this is a black gay bear and this is an Asian bear. This is a panda. Like this is an old pear, not old pear. An old bear is like a polar bear. Like, it's funny, but it's like, okay, I don't know.
Is it? I mean, objectifying people is sometimes a lot of fun, especially when they are. Yeah, I guess to your point that like, especially when they are rich white men, like it's the only category that is completely fine to punch up at.
Exactly. Just punch old white men.
And so therefore, I'm gonna like make you objectify people of color now for.
Yay! Let's go completely against what you said. Well, okay, so well. First of all, yeah. Let's do other races of rodent, and then let's do other sexes of rodent because I think there's rodent women for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I made a list of non-white rodents, and tell me if you agree or disagree, okay?
I hope I know who all of the people are so I don't look like a dumb white person.
Okay, so Asians first, and I sent this to you a long time ago. RM from BTS.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of him, and I don't see it, but I mean, like, also it's not fair to put a K-pop star up for it because they wear a ton of makeup, like, they might not even look like that in real life. We don't even know.
RM, I would argue, is very, very mouse-like. He's got like a pointy little chin. He's got like tinier eyes and like a little delicate little nose. He's just like very, very like mousy of the rodents.
Okay, I'm like very quickly going back to find. You sent me the picture, and I'm almost there. And there's
he doesn't have like an angular jaw like all the other, not all the others, but like for a lot of the other BTS members. He's got a more angular jaw and like a cute little smile.
He's got like big cheekbones, and his jaw kind of like is wide, and then it comes to like a little point in the center. But I mean, he probably has had a lot of work done.
Yeah.
He probably didn't have a chin at all, and they had to like pull it out or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I see a little cute mouse there.
Okay, another hot rodent Asian in my opinion, Steven Yeun.
That makes perfect sense because I wanted to fuck him ever since he died on I almost said The Lost and Found. What's that
Walking
fucking
Dead.
show? The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Ever since they faked killing him on The Walking Dead and then like a season later really killed him on The Walking Dead, I have found him so attractive.
Yeah, he is a very sexy, hot rodent man, Asian rodent.
I even thought he was hot in Minari when he was like sexing the
Yeah.
chicken babies, and like you knew he
Yeah.
was throwing the males in the garbage, and you were like, oh, it's so sad. But he's like, oh, but he's so hot. I wish he would sex me and throw me out
Oh, I know. Yeah,
like a
he
fuck
is.
chicken. Sorry,
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe you are a chicken.
I'm a chicken.
Okay. John Cho.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who John Cho is?
Is he
Do you,
the guy
okay,
from
he's
the
American Pie. He's the one who like said MILF. Like he brought MILF into the world.
American Pie? I
It's like
don't. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Is he from? Was he in like that like Kumar's movie?
yes. Oh yeah,
Harold
yeah.
and
He's
Kumar?
Harold. He's Harold.
Oh, okay. So Harold, and Kumar go to White Castle. Okay, yeah. I mean, I
And
guess I see that.
okay, and then another hot Asian who's not East Asian is Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed.
He played that deaf drummer in that movie.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is where I have to say this. I definitely wanted to fuck him a lot ever since I watched The Night of. Was it called The Night of? It's like where he like went home with a girl and then he woke up after being drugged and she was dead and he got like accused of it.
Oh my god, I want to see this.
It's on HBO. It made me want him so bad. So that's the thing. There's some rodent men and women who have tiny beady little eyes, and then there's some that have big, huge eyes, and
Yeah.
those are like mice from other countries.
Those are more like possum
Those
rodents.
are those like those little mousy things that are like in the jungle, and they only are awake at night, and they have huge eyes, and they're just like looking
they're
around
so
like,
cute. Yeah.
where are the bugs and where's the fruit?
Yeah, those are like tree rodents or whatever you're talking about. One of those
Trodents.
rodents, exactly.
Right.
Okay. So I then now we can move to hot black rodents, and
Okay.
I came up with 0 except for Lakeith Stanfield.
Is that the guy who was in the New York Times article?
No, I don't know.
Is
who
that
was in-
who you sent me? You sent me
Yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, he's in Get Out.
Okay. Like I can see it, cause he's like a little man.
Yeah, he's slender.
He's like a short king. I can see
Is he
it.
short?
Oh, and there's no way that boy's tall. I mean, maybe. Wait, you said I can't think of any hot black rodents at the moment. Chris Rock?
But I don't think Chris Rock is hot though. I mean, he's funny, but I don't think he's hot.
Well, yeah, Chris Rock was more attractive. What do we think about? Is Dave Chappelle a black rodent?
Is he a black?
Is he a black rodent? Is he a hot rodent, Summer?
I don't find him hot. Do you?
I do think Chappelle's hot. Although now he's kind of like an old man who smokes too much, so he probably just like smells like an ashtray. But
Yeah, and he hates trans people.
I
don't
know.
think
Well,
yeah.
I think he just hates that he got in so much trouble, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you! I'll say what I want."
Right.
He's got a big dick on the table, and he's like, "I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want." Yeah, I don't know. I have issues with him because I do find him so fucking funny, but then it's like, oh god.
Yeah, you can be funny, but also not rodent-like and not hot.
Okay, so
He's-
he didn't make the list.
Right.
Uh,
And I wonder if it's just like, do black people have rodent features? I don't know.
That's a good
maybe-
point. I
yeah.
don't know either. I'm feeling like I'm feeling so hard. I'm feeling hard. I can't think of anybody right now. I also didn't think of any of the other people that you brought up. You thought of them.
I did some homework. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for Latino men or Hispanic men,
Oh.
I only came up with Mark Anthony and John Leguizamo.
Okay. I feel like that's safe. Well, Mark Anthony for sure. Mark
Yeah.
Anthony's I'm surprised he's made it this far. I thought he looked like he was dying like 20 years ago. He looks like I don't know if you remember this. Like, did you ever watch like Looney Tunes or like any of like the cartoons from like they were like old when we were kids, but they were like still on because they were classic. They used to depict like they used to depict Frank Sinatra in cartoon form as
Oh,
being
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
wafy and skinny and like dying.
Yeah.
Um, but like he was never skinny in our lifetime, but like he used to be like really skinny, and apparently like people thought he looked ill. But that's what I looked. That's what I think of when when I used to see Mark Anthony. Like it'd be like he looks like sickly thin, like,
Mm,
and also like I feel like he married. Didn't he marry J Lo and then like
yeah.
they divorced? And I've never seen him since. Like I think she ate him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Googling a photo of Mark Anthony now, I don't, I feel like that would be
He's
kind of like when I saw Jimmy Carter, like the last time. Have you seen Jimmy Carter?
is he giving Rodent Man?
No, no, Jimmy Carter looks like he's like
Like
a
one of
walking bag of flesh with and skeletons.
like one of his eyeballs is like loose and hanging out of his head.
Totally. His mouth is just like completely like wide open. He's like being wheeled around and stuff.
I
It's
know.
he's about to die.
But God love him, he's still like doing humanitarian shit.
No, he can't do anything. He's
Oh, he can't do humanitarian shit?
he can't talk.
God.
He can't do anything.
Okay, I think Mark Anthony is probably better than that, but I think he's probably like trapped in a mouse trap somewhere. Like J Lo probably put down some cheese in a little mouse trap, and he probably went to get it, and then he went, and now he's just like seizing in a corner in someone's apartment, and
I still think he's very sexy. I love his songs.
Astoria. I was trying to think of the word Astoria, and it took me that long to think of it.
What's Astoria?
Astoria,
I mean,
Queens.
That's where he's from?
No.
Oh, that's not where Johnny.
I just wanted to name drop neighborhoods in Queens.
Jenny
Jenny from
J-Lo
the block. She's
is
from
the block Queens?
I don't think it's the Bronx. I think it's like Queens or Brooklyn.
Huh.
Let's look it up.
You
Where
need
is
to go back to
Jennifer
New
Lopez
York.
from? Oh, she's from the Bronx. God damn it. Fuck me. So I was thinking that there's definitely some women rodents, and just quickly, Tina Fey comes to mind.
Really?
I think
Interesting.
Tina Fey might be like female rodent. You might as well throw in Amy Poehler while you're at it. They're both just kind of like rodential.
Yeah. I don't think Tina Fey is very rodent-like, but I do agree that Amy Poehler is very
Okay, so
rodent-like.
it took us a way to get there, but we got there. Amy
Yeah.
Poehler, rodent.
Amy Poehler.
She's like a chinchilla. She might be. She's a little squirrely too. I was thinking that, and this is hard to say because I'm pretty sure she's had a buccal fat removal, but I think Zendaya might be a rodent also.
Really? Oh.
I think so. I mean, like, she's so, like, they dress her up so many different ways. Like, the way she dresses and looks in Euphoria is, like, completely different than in Challengers, is different than, like, how she was in, like, what is that fucking musical she did early on? The fucking Greatest Showman, and then she's in Dune. And also, they're putting her up against all these rodent men. Like, she's with Timothy Chalamet, and with Mike Faced, and with Josh O'Connor. Like, they must think like she looked good with Rodent Man
She kind of gives me ostrich energy, actually.
because she's so long.
She's so tall, yeah.
Is she
And
tall?
skinny. She's like 5'10".
That's my height.
Yeah, she's very tall.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so maybe she can't be a rodent because she's too tall. Do you think all of these men... See, that's the thing. Josh O'Connor, I think he's like 6'2".
Oh.
I'm not 100%
Wow.
sure. We should definitely look that up.
Yeah.
But we won't. But so anyway, I've been looking at myself this whole time we've been talking about it, and I'm afraid I'm a rodent.
No, you're not. You're a chicken, remember? Or a
Oh, right.
horse.
Right.
What am I?
Would I rather be a chicken than a rodent? I don't know. Do you have beady little eyes? Do you have... you don't have ears. I've never seen your ears. Do you even have
that's
ears?
right. I don't have ears.
Okay, I didn't think so. Oh my god, I once met this guy who was so hot who like didn't have a fully formed like left ear, and I like wanted to lick it. See, that's what I like. I
Aw.
love people with flaws.
Yeah, me too.
He was also deaf in one ear, and like he was really adorable. I had a crush.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I kind of look like a fish right now.
A fish?
A sexy fish.
Oh yeah, like so like is that what your sexy animal would be? A fish? Oh, I just kicked myself.
I guess so.
Like if we gave women animals like animal names. Like I
I
don't
think
think
I could be a dolphin, I think.
you think?
Yeah, I think I'm an aquatic animal.
You think you just like them or you think you resemble them?
Resemble.
Okay, dolphin. I'm trying to think of
They have
dolphins
like
I've
wide
seen.
set eyes and like
Their eyes are
they're
on two opposite sides of their cranium.
wide set eyes. Or and like kind of like
And they're
I don't
like
have I don't have a lot of hair.
they're always got their mouth wide open.
I don't know if this is no Zendaya's more cat like. She's
I think Zendaya's like a shapeshifter. I think she could be like literally any animal depending on how they dress her up.
But I think this kind of goes to my earlier point about like women can't be rodents because well, I don't know if I said this earlier, but like there's just so many conventionally attractive women in Hollywood. You don't get a lot of unattractive or unconventionally
Oh.
attractive actresses and singers and famous people who we see. They all just like have Instagram face.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you
Yeah.
mean. And if they don't, if they have even like the slightest imperfection, they get it fixed. Like if they want
Yeah.
to do any more movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I guess I think that's always been the case. Like men have always like been credited for their ideas and their skill, and they haven't had to be like beautiful technically. And I think that when they discovered that men like women would go see movies where men were beautiful, I mean that obviously was a thing, but there was still that's the thing, and this has always been true. Women are willing to accept ugly men. It's all your fault.
Is it our fault?
It is. And I'm part of it too, because I love an ugly guy. I love an uggo, especially with a big dick.
You're just like a personality girl.
This isn't a rodent man, but I think Shrek is super hot. I've always thought Shrek was super hot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Shrek's got a dad bod.
He's so hot. And Shrek, when Shrek becomes a white guy, he's even hotter.
Shrek becomes a white guy?
I think
Is he
it's in
just-
Shrek 2. I think he gets transformed into like a man. He's not green, and he like is so hot.
Let me see.
Even with the voice of Mike Myers, he's like so hot. I want to like eat his butt.
Oh yeah. He's definitely got like a Gaston vibe to him.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I loved Gaston.
Gaston is-
We're definitely
was a
saying that right. Gaston. Oh my God.
But yeah, I think I'm done talking about rodents.
I know, me too. Okay, so this is the perfect time for us to talk about vermin. And that is
Oh,
the
good segue.
Republican Party. Well, and you know, they don't all have to be Republican, but most of them are. Should I do the song?
Yeah, please.
Oh my God, I have to see if I can remember it. Politics, politics, dick, 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 politics, politics. That's the song. It'll never.
He only ever sing it when I guessed.
Right. But I was practicing all day at work.
Aw.
So, well, I mean, I mean, I'm sure I could think of somebody that is like specifically a dick, a politic, but I think mainly, well, I'm like, stuttering has become a thing in my life. Can that be okay?
Yep.
For a podcaster?
Okay.
Mainly, what I think we're interested in talking about is the upcoming debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and how terrified we are about the upcoming election.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch the debate?
So, I don't think so. Literally, I was watching John Oliver the other night, and it was all about Donald Trump. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and it was
Yeah.
very funny. But it's also like I don't feel like joking around anymore about the possibility of Donald Trump being a second term president
Yeah.
because like it's so terrifying and it makes me so uncomfortable.
I know exactly how you feel, but I watched that episode and then I fell asleep.
And did you have nightmares that you were living in Gilead and you were like a
Well,
handmaid?
I think like I've just kind of come to an acceptance about like how fucked up our political system is, not just here but like around the world. I mean, my other politic was going to be like Rishi Sunak and then Emmanuel Macron. Like they've had like really bad weeks, and like the far right is just blossoming up everywhere. But I kind of have to just like tune it out because I'll go crazy otherwise, which is I think why I
Yeah.
fell asleep. Yeah.
I think that might be also why you moved to Santa Fe.
Is that why?
You're
Oh,
like
because I don't have to be in stupid Kakalaka anymore.
you were like, I'm gonna move to a place that resembles the surface of another planet because I need to fucking zone out. The only people I want to know are people that like make their own kombucha.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a stick and poke tattoo. Wait, you didn't get a stick and poke tattoo.
I didn't, but I did get a tattoo as soon as I moved here.
You got
Yeah. I
tattoo.
did. My first tattoo.
And you were never gonna
Um,
get one ever, and you got one.
I know, it's true. I'm such a sellout. But yeah, the debate, I think I will watch it because Lexi wants to watch it and get drunk together. And I'm always a fan of getting drunk with Lexi, even though she's in a different state.
I mean, when you put it that way,
Yep.
I might have to watch it. But I just remember the last time I watched a Trump Biden debate, it was just like you could just feel like you're like I've never seen a debate like this. I've never seen something more unprofessional. Like
Yeah.
why can't they turn a person's fucking microphone off when they're not supposed to be talking? Like Donald Trump in a debate is like there's no rule book. And
Yeah.
there's talking over everyone else and there's name calling and it's just like and I know everyone who likes to watch reality TV for like how ridiculous it is like yes, but it's like yeah, but this is our fucking democracy. Like this isn't
Yeah.
like some fucking fun joke. Like this is real. I mean, Donald Trump annihilated every other person running against him, and it was like, how? How is there
He's a
still?
I know, yeah. He's a fucking convict running around and he's polling higher than our incumbent. Isn't
Yeah.
that wild?
How yeah, I don't understand polls either, but regardless, like it's like so neck and neck. It's like, how is that possible?
Because we deserve it, Drew. This is what we deserve. We're bad people. Like I don't really feel like we deserve like nice things like, Danish people do with like their fucking free healthcare and a social safety net. We're Americans just fucking suck. I just think we're going to have to be okay with that.
We can't have nice things.
We can't have nice things. That's like we deserve Joe Biden or Donald
Ugh.
Trump. They just like we suck. I'm fine with admitting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Move to America, and you will be a part of this cursed nation with a history
Yeah.
of shooting each other and enslaving people and keeping other
Yeah.
people from having enough so that you can have way too much.
Yay! So
Yay!
we're gonna get really drunk tomorrow. Then is that what we're gonna do?
Well, apparently you're gonna get drunk tomorrow because you won't have any photo shoots and you can just drink your little face off.
Yeah.
So we were gonna say we were gonna have like a drinking game. Like what would the well okay, so what do we predict? What do we predict will happen other than it'll be a shit show for this debate?
Well, I mean, I thought I said something funny earlier. That like we have to drink every time a senile old man talks.
Right.
So we're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die of alcohol poisoning. Um, although like yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how senile Joe Biden is, and I'm not like I never really feel like defending him, but like, because he wasn't the candidate I ever wanted for anything. Um, and I do think he touches people weird a lot. Uh, but he's never grabbed anybody by the pussy, I don't think.
Right.
Um, but so I just think that I think he's slow, a little slow. He's a little slow, and sometimes he'll be trying to talk to people, and someone will fall out of the sky, with a parachute, and he'll turn around to look at him instead of what he's supposed to be looking at. Although that's a kind of a big deal when someone falls out of the sky. But I also just think that like Donald Trump is like fucking out there. Like he's
Yeah.
just like dar. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Have you ever seen like those like interviews with Joe Biden or whatever? He's like on like the press like podium. He'll just forget what he's saying mid-sentence. I mean, I feel like I can handle that more than like Donald Trump just like being a shit hurricane. And like that's a much more acceptable choice for president now that we're down to two choices.
Who, Donald Trump?
No,
Oh, Biden.
obviously not Biden. Yeah, like we
I was
need
like,
to
oh
have.
my god, I've lost
we
another
need-
friend.
We need to have an even older man be our president.
Well, so like that's the other thing too, that I cannot believe that the right is like it's just all on about all the time about how old Biden is. It's like Trump is literally like 3 years younger than Biden.
Yeah.
He's like not
yeah,
younger than Biden.
Yeah.
And I know that like it's kind of like being a baby. Like each year is a big deal. It's like a big difference, but like it's 3 years. I mean, and senility is like for some people they're sharp as a tack till they're 99. Some people are fucking dull as feathers at 61. Just it has to do with your genetics and how you take care of your mind and your body.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like Trump is much more unhealthy than Joe Biden. Like,
Of course,
Trump,
he drinks
like...
bleach. I mean, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, he eats like, McDonald's and fried chicken and drinks bleach and it's like.
Dude, I feel like I once heard a theory that Donald Trump is like, he's like the what's the word I'm looking for? He like has syphilis. Like he like maybe caught syphilis and like was too much of an egotist to ever get tested or get it treated. And so it's like ruined his brain. And it's like why he's so orange. I mean, I don't know if that's like that can't be like a thing, but I think like late stage syphilitic people, like their noses start to rot off their face, but I don't know if that always happens. But that's like way later. I mean, I think like mental decline is like a huge symptom of syphilis or like certain STIs that go untreated.
Oh.
I could see that.
I could totally see. Like, Donald Trump is definitely like a walking STI.
Oh, yeah. There's no way he would get treated or tested. Like, he's just not that kind of person.
Yeah. I think that is valid. Okay, so debate tomorrow. I feel like they're gonna like roid up Joe Biden so much that he's not going to like fall asleep on the podium, but he's gonna say like a lot of like generalities, like something like the American people love protecting our blah blahs and blah blahs, something like that, something like super like general, but like the American people. I feel like that's another like shot every time he says it. But did you know there's no audience in this debate?
That's pretty cool, I think.
I think it's cool, but like I really hope the moderators actually like push back against like the lies and inaccuracies that they're going to say.
What they're doing is recording a podcast. Like it's just the three of them in a room.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Why do we think there's no audience? Like, do we know why?
Maybe it was requested, or
you think by Trump?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know.
Now, for a debate to happen, does like one candidate have to challenge? Is it like a duel? Like, do they have to challenge the other one to a debate, or is it like their people just like all decide like there needs to be a debate? Like, obviously there needs to be a debate. Like that's a tradition to have at least. Isn't there like at least 3 presidential debates?
Yeah, I think they're always just like informally like written that presidential candidates have debates, but Trump being so bad at debates has has just not showed up to a lot of them just because he can get away with it. He was just so popular
He didn't
despite
show up to a lot of the Republican
primaries. Yeah,
debates. Oh
right.
my god.
Yeah. But I don't feel like debates have to happen.
I don't think they
So,
have to happen. And I heard someone really fucking smart, and of course I can't remember who because I instantly expunge anyone smart from my brain.
oh, thanks.
Um, Sorry, what's your name? Um, I was hearing them talking about how like debates like don't fucking matter. Like they've
Mm.
never changed anyone's mind. Like if you go into a debate knowing you're gonna vote for one candidate, you're not gonna change your mind after the debate.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just for political theater,
Yeah, it's
honestly.
spectacle. Well, what are your predictions?
I predict that, like I said, I predict that Trump will talk over Biden and he'll like say things that aren't true, obviously, and he'll get his little digs in there and say terrible things about the president, and he'll he'll talk after he's supposed to stop talking, and then they won't be able to cut him off because there's like nobody with the big button anywhere. It's going to be ridiculous, and I think that Biden is going to like take the bait a lot of times and be like,
Mm,
no, actually, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Like he's gonna think that if he doesn't kick back, that like he's looking weak, which is what always happens. And it's like, I just want to vote for someone who like, well, the idiot won't stop talking. They just go, are you done? I'd love to
yeah,
have
that's
someone who's
great.
just like an old diner waitress, like, you done? You know, it's
Yeah.
gonna be so annoying.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel like every time Donald Trump talks, it feels like it's just like toxic masculinity, like encapsulated in like a orange flesh bag. But like I get so angry at it that like I just kind of clam up and I can't say anything back. I'm like you bad man, and then that's all I would say instead of being what I should be is just like that diner waitress going like, "You done,
You done?
honey? You done? You want more coffee?"
You want more khaki?
Hmm.
I feel like also Donald Trump is almost like doing some form of like yoga nidra, like he's like hypnotizing people. Because if you think about it, he has like the voice kind of like of a hypnotist. It's like he repeats himself. This is gonna be great. You're gonna do the best thing you've ever done before. You're gonna love me. You're gonna vote for me. I'm the best person you've ever seen in your whole entire life. Like it's
Yeah.
literally like brainwashing the masses, and it doesn't matter that what he's saying makes absolutely no sense
Yeah.
because he just wants you to look at him and keep looking at
Yeah.
him and don't look away, to look away from the spinning or the whatever, the fucking
Oh
swinging
yeah.
pendant.
Yeah, he's a cult leader. There's something so compelling about crazy people like Donald Trump. You just can't look away and you follow everything they do, like cult leaders.
Right.
He's a cult leader. Yeah.
Right.
Huh.
It's so great.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, again, we deserve this. Our country is
We're
not
just
that
terrible.
fabulous. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
terrible. Shouldn't have done that to the Native Americans and the blacks. We shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And
What should we
the
do?
Asians.
What are we gonna do to like shield ourselves from um
Um,
the next 4 years?
well, I'm hopefully moving north, and hopefully it'll be close enough to the Canadian border that I can just slip over one night, you know, in the middle of the night and
Yeah.
become a Canadian. Um, but yeah, I think it's well, regardless of who becomes our next president, like I need to get out of this fucking red state. I don't think it's good for my mental health.
Mm.
But if it's Trump, I definitely need to be living in a blue state. Like I cannot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be bad. I mean, I haven't watched that whole John Oliver episode, but like if that whole 2025 plan comes to fruition,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
The playbook that they've been planning for so long is like insane, and like it's so crazy how much like people have forgotten like that this whole thing is like to throw out like the Constitution essentially, like in so many ways. They're like, we'll keep the things we like, but those things that are ensuring freedoms for all, we're not going to keep those. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
so blatant too. Another politic is that Louisiana governor, I don't know his name, but he insisted on now it's like law to have 10 commandments in like every fucking
oh
school.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What
fucking
the
crazy.
fuck? Yeah.
There was already 10 commandments on the lawn in front of like so many courthouses throughout the South. And there's that really good documentary called Hail Satan about the Church of Satan or whatever they call themselves. Um, and it's like they're not even really Satanists. They just like believe that
Yeah.
there needs to be separation between church and state.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so many of, well, not so many of my friends, but I know a couple people that have like, they're like card carrying members of that. Um, and their little like credo is like really beautiful. It's like we just love people and animals and the world, the planet, and we like, we don't let
Ah,
organized religion like change our
yeah.
minds and make us hate other people and like
Oh, I like these
it's so
Satanists.
cute little
Mhm.
Satanists.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I do think that you should get out of there. You're always welcome in Santa Fe. My plan is to, like, be so self-sufficient that I don't need to rely on any sort of government services.
You're gonna go live in one of those like little spaceship houses in the desert.
Totally.
What are
Yeah.
those called?
Earth ships.
Earth ships.
Yeah.
Made out of like just the butt end of like wine bottles
Yep. I
turned
mean, I already
sideways.
have a lot of wine bottles that I could repurpose. Yep. I will like pee into a toilet, and then I'll just like recycle that pee over and over again. Use it for showering and drinking water and watering my plants.
And you can like gather the urea into like a powder that you use to like dye your hair.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't even
Urea
think about
powder.
that.
It'll
See,
be yellow.
you can live with me. We can.
I'll gather the powder from your pee.
Okay, that's
Cool.
great. Now that we've established that we're very tactile with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'll gather your pea powder if you pinch my butt once a year.
I feel like my pea powder is probably like very sterile. I mean, it's like and like that's
Well,
like the thing about pea, right?
I don't think there's a lot of powders that accumulate bacteria only because there's like no water, but like who knows? That's what I learned from working at Lush Cosmetics a long time ago.
Ah,
Um,
cool.
yeah, I'm a scientist.
Yep.
So we're gonna drink every time a senile old man says something. I'm gonna drink anytime in the debate that like am like I cannot. Anytime I cannot, I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, I can't even. I'm gonna drink.
How about drink a whole handle if they say I stand with Israel?
I'm going to. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I don't even. I don't think anyone can say I stand with Israel in this debate. But don't you think it's gonna come up though? The moderator's gonna ask them about it.
Gotta, yeah. No, they have to say I stand with Israel.
They have to say that.
Yeah, it's a political like being Israel like Israelis like butt buddies is like a part of like the American policy.
I think they're gonna say. I think Biden's gonna say, "I believe in a ceasefire."
I hope he fucking does.
Yeah, but they're not gonna set a date. They're just gonna say like, "We need a ceasefire." No one's gonna say that Netanyahu should be jailed for fucking war crimes, and not even a war. There's not even a war. It's just a fucking apartheid. It's just like a genocide.
Biden could lose because of the Gaza shit.
I know. That
Yeah.
sucks so bad. It sucks
Yeah.
so bad.
The only reason why like anybody should vote for Biden is to protect like abortion, but I mean, and also because he's not Donald Trump. But I really I have no fucking idea why anybody would want to vote for Biden otherwise. I mean, neither of us did.
Couldn't you see like some
For
like
primaries, at
world?
least.
Can you see some world where like Donald Trump or like someone on that side like paid a whole bunch of money to Hamas to like go to that music festival and like steal those Jewish people and then like create this whole thing?
What?
Did I just make up like a conspiracy theory?
Wow, you've just been like red pilled or something like that.
Did I just
You're
red
like...
pill myself? Did I just purple pill myself? But wouldn't it be like in their best interest to have this whole thing happen and have Biden be like, oh shit, I don't know what to do, and then like look really bad and then lose the election?
Wow, you're like one of those like January 6th conspiracy theorists now.
No!
It's pretty charming.
But on the other side, I stormed the Capitol from behind. I went in the back door.
I can only laugh about it now because of you.
I made January 6th funny.
You did.
Well, you know, there is a lot of like research to show that like different other political, you know, other governments in the world, you know, contributed to Trump being so successful in past elections.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's definitely other world leaders
Yeah.
that want us to have somebody like Trump in power.
Oh, totally. Yeah, Russia, of course. And,
Russia.
and Israel.
Wait, did you see the clip of, speaking of politics, did you see the clip of Putin leaving North Korea, like after he met with Kim Jong Bobo? And like, was it Kim Jong-un? Is that the one we're on?
Yeah.
He was like,
I didn't see this. No.
he was like waving to the plane like he was saying goodbye to like his daddy or his mommy.
Wait, Vladdy was?
No, Kim Jong-un.
Oh,
And then
Kimmy
like
was.
and then they showed the plane, and through the window you could just see Putin like. And I don't know if that was added. That was on John Oliver too. I don't know if they added the face of Putin or if like you could actually see him through the plane.
He was just like, bitch, no.
It was just like, you're mine, bitch. Also, I don't think that Putin's plane was as impressive as Air Force One. Just saying.
Oh, damn.
Just saying.
Damn, that's some, like, you know, leader plane smack talk you
I
got
just
there.
shamed his fucking plane. Air Force Russia. And also, I listened to some podcast the other day that was explaining, like, the history of North and South Korea and, like kind of who backed all of that for, like, the Korean War. And it was, like, really interesting. I, like, didn't know. It was about how North Korea, for, like, the last 50 years, has been, like, kidnapping South Koreans and, like, trying to, like, brainwash them and then, like, do their dirty work for them with South Korea.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
How do you... Wait, how do you brain... How do... Yeah. Okay,
Because they just, like, they show them propaganda over and over and over for hundreds of days. And they have also been kidnapping Japanese citizens, too, like, in coastal villages and stuff.
No way.
Yeah, and it's also, like, funny because Japan, like, had colonized that area a long time ago. So, like, it's almost like they're like, fuck you, Japan. But it's also, like, these poor people didn't do anything, but they're being kidnapped. And they just disappear. And they're just gone forever. And their families are like, oh, my God, where did Bobo go?
You make me laugh at such, like, inappropriate things, but, like, I don't know why I found that so funny. That's just like this. It's like,
well, it's like a crazy thing. Like, they're like, we're gonna kidnap you and then show you, like, videos that make you love us and hate them for hundreds of days, and then you're gonna have, like, at the very least, like, the most intense Stockholm syndrome ever.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go and, like, be spies for us.
I feel like that's, like, the only way it'll work is, like, through, like, fear and intimidation and deprivation. Like, because, like, I can't ever imagine, like, becoming, like, a far-right conspiracy theorist unless you did something as drastic as that. You'd have to, like, waterboard the fuck out of me for me to turn into, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
But it also takes, like, such a fucking long time to, like, brainwash a person in that scenario that, like, it's not a good plan. Like, it's just not. They just keep doing it. They just keep saying, this one will work. Yeah, we're going to get this one. But they also were kidnapping people who were, like, in South Korea that, like, were really good at certain things. And they, like, didn't have people that were good at those things in North Korea. So they're like, we need, like, more doctors. Let's go kidnap doctors. And, like, we need, you know, stuff like that.
You watch some really good shit. I want to
I'm
watch
like,
that.
I constantly have information going into my ear holes, and I'm just like
Yeah.
repeating I'm like fucking parrot. I'm like a
Yeah.
chicken parrot all
You a
fucked into
bud.
one.
You a bird person.
So what time is the debate tomorrow?
9 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so we are recording the day before, but this will air on the day of the debate.
Oh yeah.
So everyone can listen, and then they could be like, "Oh my God, you were so right when you said barely anything about what was going to happen at the debate
Yeah, we're so
with your
smart.
generalities."
We're so
Um,
nuanced.
what are you going to be drinking during the debate?
Ooh, probably some seltz because it's like the least calorific out of all the alcohols.
Yeah,
And there's a large quantity that I can consume. Although if I have 5 cans, it's still like 500 calories.
I
So,
think we should just do hard liquor by itself.
really? I do have a bunch of shrooms that I can dabble with as
Okay.
well. So maybe
I would not do shrooms and watch a presidential debate.
I might make it more entertaining.
Maybe, or maybe you'll trip balls.
But good times.
Oh my God. Are shrooms are they legal in Santa Fe?
No, but they're everywhere. It's so easy to get shrooms in New Mexico.
Like
Yeah.
in a cow patty or something?
It's kind of like the drug of choice. Like you go to like parties and they just like hand it out like cigarettes.
Yeah. I wish that I was well, I don't wish I were Native American because that would probably be not as privileged at all, but you know how like it's like not politically correct to take
Peyote?
peyote unless you're Native American. For
Right.
people like us that give a shit, as a white liberal, I can't take peyote. I'm not allowed.
Just try. What if you're invited?
I might be invited, but then
Yeah.
I would be tripping balls in like a sweat lodge somewhere.
I've never seen you on drugs before besides like your antidepressants.
Oh, is that not good enough? No kidding.
No.
I don't think they're working. I'm really good. I'm really good with the right amount of pot. I'm really good with like just a little giggly amount of weed and like a dance party. You've never seen
I've,
that?
I've never seen that because you live in like a stupid anti-pot state.
Well, if I move to Michigan, which I intend to, it's legal weed.
That's so cool.
I actually had a fantasy of moving to Michigan and working at like a dispensary.
Did you choose Michigan purposely? Purposefully?
Yeah, because that's where I'm from, and I also think that like I'm really loving like what I'm seeing and hearing about like what's going on in Detroit, and I love like a medium-sized big city to like live at least on the outskirts of.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun. And
Yeah. I don't know much about Detroit, but it seems like it's a fun city. It's like a bunch of hipsters and Motown music.
yeah, I don't know if Motown's still happening, but it's like right by a major airport, so I can just like fly anywhere, and it's so much easier. And also like I'm right by Canada.
I know. Oh my gosh. You can like look across the border and it's like Toronto.
Yeah, basically, I think I could drive to Toronto in like 2 hours.
Oh my god, that sounds so fun. Okay,
Yeah.
go to Michigan, I guess. But you're always welcome here in Santa Fe.
I could probably fly from Detroit to Santa Fe for like
bet.
$5.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Be
Well,
in
Priscilla,
Santa Fe.
thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Drew. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for fitting me into our busy schedule. Your busy. Okay. Thanks for fitting me into yourself. Thanks. And I hope that we get to talk again. I don't want to tell anybody this yet, but I'm going to. That our 100th episode is coming up. So I want to have you on, and maybe Lexi too. That'd be so much fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do a repeat appearance. Awesome.
Yes. And then I hope that everyone listening is having a wonderful pre-debate evening. This could be the last evening that we're all alive. I don't know. And I hope that everyone's filling their holes with whatever makes them happy. even if Donald Trump becomes our president again.